Hey calculus kids, this is Dr. Callahan with week 4 Tuesday. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up log. Okay, let's go ahead and create the assignment for today. Um, I actually made a little typo here, so I'm just gonna delete this assignment and create a new one right here. So this is for week 4 Tuesday, AP Calc AB semester 2. And today we're going to talk about review of USUB, and how to use it on calculators. Your instruction today is to simply view the lesson, make sure you guys watch the video from the beginning to the end, and then make sure you upload your assignment, especially if you are not in class because you're at home for the other half of the hybrid days. Keep in mind that the 2 links you need are right here. Hard copies are available outside of my class if you need access to them. And then, of course, make sure you're watching the videos and checking in with me during second period. That is 8:46 to 9:41, and that is your schedule for Tuesday. So your assignment is always going to be worth 10 points. Your assignment is also due by 3 p.m. the day that it is assigned. So here we go. Let's see. I just realized that the guided notes that I was using today, for some reason, is not part of your guided notes in the packet, which is very alarming because you actually need it. So, what I'm gonna do is I am going to take a photo of this and hopefully I can paste it onto the assignment for day for calculus, and I'll print it out for you guys in class because I'm not sure why it's not on there, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna hit review. Here we go, and it should be posted. So then when you click on it, you'll be able to at least see what the question is. And I want to make sure I save this. So next year students will hopefully have access to this. So just give me 1 second while I fix this. And again, if you need a hard copy, please go to B1. There's a table sitting outside that has all of your assignments for the first 9 weeks. So just keep that in mind. Week 5, no, I need to go back to week 4. Week 4 Tuesday, perfect. All right, so we should be good to go. All right, so let's get started with the warm up. The first question here is a good question to have because it is, it's a question that is good to have because this one really does require you to think on a higher level when it comes to integration. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you look at this, you know you're gonna have to use a U sub. I mean, the question itself is pretty ugly, to say the least, to try to attempt to find this. So let's go ahead and say, let u be, and if you look at it, everything inside the parenthesis and the square root are exactly the same, so x plus 1. My du, of course, is 1 dx. My dx equals du. Immediately as I'm looking at this, I wonder how the heck am I going to be able to cancel this, because I don't see anything that I can actually cancel. So I have x over, your x plus 1 is going to be u. So you're going to have a u minus a square root of u. Replace the dx with a du. Well, I still have the negative x, so that's going to be a problem. But I know that if I were to solve for x, x equals u minus 1. So if I replace this piece right here with a u minus 1, distribute this, and I'll have a negative u plus 1. Here on the bottom, here's a strategy, and I'm just going to put strategy right here. What you can do with this is, if I were to factor out a square root of u, well, square root of u times what will give me just u to the 1 power? Well, that will be another square root of u. And then if I factor out the square root of u here, what will be left in the parentheses? It will be a 1. And why did I do that? Well, I did this so that way my hope is that hopefully I could cancel something from the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator. So then at this point, I could go ahead and rewrite this. If I were to rewrite that, I could do a 1 minus u over, on the bottom, I will have a square root of u times square root of u minus 1 du. And I'm getting closer to getting these two to be exactly the same top and bottom, so that way I can at least cancel something. Oops, let's see what happened here. Here we go. So next, what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a little bit crazy, but if I were to go ahead and factor the numerator, what can I factor it into so that the first and outer, last and first, outer, inner, and last will give me a u, 1 minus u. But keep in mind, I want something in here to include something that's similar to down here, so that way I can go ahead and cancel it. I know, you're probably thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. So this is what you can do. Could it be possible if I do 1 minus a square root of u, 1 plus a square root of u? If I were to go ahead and FOIL this, would that give me 1 minus u? And it would. If you're not sure, try it. Make sure you do the FOIL, and I will tell you right now, it will give you 1 minus u. And this is good because if I do it this way, then look what happens. This is very similar to here. The only difference is that I need to rewrite it so that way there's a negative. So if I factor out a negative, isn't it the same thing as square root of u minus 1? Exactly the same. And that is a strategy right there. So then that way I can cancel this part here with the denominator there. And once I do that, what's left is I have my negative 1 in this part on the top. So I have a negative 1 times 1 plus the square root of u over the denominator is just square root of u. Well, I can distribute this. Negative 1 or not. My pen's not working. Negative 1 minus the square root of u. And again, you're in integrals here. I can separate that, so I have a negative 1, move the u up to the u to the negative 1/2. minus, and here I have a negative. This could be written as u to the 1/2 times, if I move that up, u to the negative 1/2. Which is the same thing as negative u to the negative 1/2 minus 1/2 minus 1/2 as a 0. U to the 0 power is just 1. So minus 1 du. And now that I have primed it up to be integrated, I can go ahead and do plus 2 over 2, which is 1 over 2. So divided by 1 over 2, flip that, which gives you a negative 2 u to the 1/2 minus, make sure you integrate this. The integral of 1 is just going to be a constant u. So I have a u and then plus c. Now you want to rewrite everything back with the substitution. Your substitution was x plus 1 to the 1/2 minus x plus 1 plus c. And you can just go ahead and leave it as that. And this will be your answer. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's stuff then. So this is your breakdown for today. All right, so first thing I would like you guys to do is to go and take a look at your guided notes. I'm going to start off right over here. Now, this is going to show you the steps of how you can go about inserting integration into your TI84 calculator. So it's important for you guys to kind of practice with this. So that way, if you're allowed to use a calculator on your AP exam, you are then able to go ahead and integrate that if you're able to use a calculator. And then go ahead and answer the following question. First one is, what is difficult about using the TI84 calculator for integration? What is easy about it? What are some suggestions or shortcuts that you recommend after going through this process? And what additional questions do you still have? This is important to know because it's important for you to understand what is going to be on your AP Calculus exam. And if you're not sure what's going to be on it, I'm going to show you guys a breakdown of the AP Calculus exam. So you just go to my website, Dr. Natalia Callahan. It's the first one that generally pops up. And you're going to go down to Calculus for Spring. On the left side, do you see where it says AP Calculus information? Your date for your AP Calculus AB exam for 2021 is going to be on, let's make sure we find it. Oh, here we go. It's going to be right here, 8 a.m. And I want to make sure I can go ahead and, no, maybe not. Okay, fine. Copy that and see if I can put it back onto my page. Here we go. I'm going to delete this part here. Delete. Paste. I don't care about this one. Delete. Delete. Can I cut that out? Okay, I guess not, maybe not. I can't cut it out, but that's okay. And I can maybe get rid of this part here. There we go. There we go. All right, so here is your time for the AP exam. It is going to be May 4th, 2021, 8 a.m. And the breakdown of this is that It is gonna be 3 hour and 15 minutes. And if you take a look a little bit specifically how it's broken down, 50% of your grade is multiple choice. Half of that is gonna be no calculator, other half is with calculator. And then the other 50% is free response. Half of that is gonna be with a calculator, other half no calculator. So that's why I always try to use previous years as free response questions to kind of help you guys guide the way that they might question it and how you also can go ahead and respond to the questions. I do that a lot so that way you guys are not like taken aback about what is the protocol and what is the strategies and what are some of the suggestions they want you to write. In the past, I felt like the multiple choice questions were fairly simple because it's just about whether you know this or not. You know, it's pretty mundane. Whereas with a free response question, you have the creativity of kind of express yourself, your knowledge, and it's just kind of freestyle of you writing down and responding to the question using your own unique techniques in that class. And so that is important to know because everybody's graded differently. So make sure you guys are aware of how that is going to be about. So break down AP calculus exam questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the next piece of this. So pause the video and I want you guys to go ahead and just practice with this on your calculator and see if you are able to get the answers following the steps that I provided for you guys. Okay, next what I want you guys to do is, if you're at home, make sure you guys grab some flashcards. So you're gonna need a flashcard and then an envelope. If you don't have that, please just ask for me in person. I'll be more than happy to give you guys some. So the front of the envelope is gonna be titled integrals to memorize. In the front of the card, you're gonna write down the formula. The back of the card, you're gonna give me the answer to the formula. So then turn over to this page right here for week 4 Tuesday. So here you have everything on the right side are the integral formulas you need to memorize. Up to this point, you should know how to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then 18, 19, 20, we haven't done yet, but we're going to get to it, the majority of the integration formula. So go ahead and create flashcards on the one that you're not familiar with. Then on the left side are the differentiation formulas from semester 1. And again, you should know these pretty much by memory, and I would suggest that the ones that you don't know, create the flashcards for those. And then, of course, going back to trigonometry, so this is from last year, what are some of the trig identities that you don't remember how to do, or the different ways and variations of writing all the trig identities from like number 13, or actually, I should say from number 11 all the way to number 18. So pause the video and create that. All right, and then let's go ahead and go to the next piece of this. This is going to be passed up in class. I just realized I didn't include this in my guided notes, so I apologize about that, but that's okay. You guys can go ahead and welcome to just copy down the questions as we go over this. So this is like a review of all the questions we talked about with absolute values, with definite integrals, with use substitution for this section, and also evaluations with trigonometric functions. And so I want you guys to pause a minute and just take a look at some of these questions, and perhaps we can go over a few of them in class. Okay, so if you guys are down with this, I'm going to show you guys the answers first, and then I can go over some of the ones I feel like are pretty difficult. So for 1, 2, and 1 and 2, here are the answers for 1 and 2. You're welcome to pause the video so you can go ahead and take a look at your work and see what my work is. So it's just a review of everything we talked about since the beginning of week 1. And then here are the answers for number 3 and 4 on absolute value integration. And as you can see with question number 4, you can either draw the questions and then find the areas, or you can go ahead and do this and break it down with integration. In my opinion, I think in class I suggest that you guys just draw it because it's significantly less. And sometimes, if it's easy to do it and it works, then why make it more complicated with more mathy stuff? So here's number 5 and 6. And here's number 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I want to go over question number 9 with you guys. So let's take a look at this one together. All right, so for question number 9, it's given to you that f double prime of x, which is the second derivative, is equal to 1 minus 2x, and f prime of -1 equals 6, which is good because they're giving you the x value and the y value, so you're going to have to plug it in to find c probably. And then f of x, here's the x value and the y value for that. So A is just find the specific equation for f prime of x. So you know that f prime of x is going to equal to the integration of f double prime of x. And you know that the f double prime of x is going to be equal to the integration of, what does it give it to you? 1 minus 2x dx. Okay, so what is the integral of 1? Well, that's going to give you 8x. What is the integral of -2x? Well, 1 plus 1 is a 2, divided by 2 is a negative x squared plus c. And that is going to give you f prime of x. Well, from the formula or from the equation, it's given to you that f prime of -1 is equal to 6. So then let's go ahead and plug it in to find c. So f prime of -1 is equal to -1 minus -1 squared plus c, which is equal to 6. So let's clear this up. -1 times -1 is a +1. +1 times a -1 is a -1. -1 minus a 1 is a -2. Plus c equals 6. And we can agree that c equals 8. So now that I have this information, I'm going to take this 8, I'm going to plug it back into this equation to kind of reverse and go use that for b. Okay, so I have f prime of x equals x minus x squared plus 8. And that is my answer for part A. Now for part B, let's just find the specific equation of f of x. Now you know that if f of x is equal to this, the integration of f prime of x is going to be equal to f of x. So the integration of x minus x squared plus 8. Let's go ahead and integrate that. I'm going to do 1 plus 1, which is a 2. So divided by 2. That's going to give me a x squared over 2 minus 2 plus 1 equals 3. So negative x to the third divided by 3 plus 8x plus c. And that's equal to f of x. So then f of x, what is x? X is 0. Well, that looks like a 6. Let's change that. Oops. Is equal to 0. It's just going to give me a 0 here. That's the same thing as going to give me a 0. Plus 8 times 0 plus c. Well, equals, and what does it equal? 14. So c equals 14. So then what is f of x? F of x is going to be, I'm going to take this 14, plug it right over, whoops, right there. There we go. X squared over 2 minus x to the third over 3 plus 8x plus 14. And that is my equation, you guys. All right, well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And as always, stay safe and healthy and socially distance yourself apart from everyone else. Have a wonderful week, you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.